The role of culture, storytelling, and creative expressions in shaping Africa's youngest minds and future generations come to the fore at this gallery in Lagos.
For the first years of Pikin life, strong futures, they start early. Early childhood development, ECD, now how Pikin they grow from belle to 5 years old. Now these early years, they shape how Pikin go learn, how creative them go be, and how them go understand their place for this world. Before Pikin reach 5 years old,
can storytelling redefine the future of a continent? CBAAC Studios and the World Bank believe so.
And the Tory and entertainment with them they watch every day. So waiting will they let these children see every day. The beginning foundation they determine waiting will come next, and it had to replace them later for life. When country invest for young children, it they bring the highest return past any other investment.
In this room, key stakeholders enjoy a special program focused on using Africa's rich creative industries to mold the minds of its youngest generation through art and culture.
Many children they start their life with disadvantage because of poor food, sickness, or environment when you support early growth.
The first classroom was never built with a building. It was our mother's laps, father's drums, we talk about folk tales, the talking drum, our village masquerades, town criers. Our ancestors and African civilization has always known that the first 5 years decide everything. Before we had the Quranic schools or the missionary classrooms, before we knew about kindergarten or nursery, our people were already investing in early childhood development. They understood that the brain will one day design the empires. We've seen enough stories that tell us about how the child who's going to be king or queen is trained and raised. Nigeria carries one of the highest burden of stunting in the world, sadly to say. Only 43% of our children reach age-appropriate development milestones. That is heartbreaking. These statistics show how we have stolen futures. They are the reason why, as a nation, marching towards 375 million people by 2050, I know it's more than that, but we'll keep that estimate, we risk turning our greatest assets, our youthful population and our young children, into a liability instead of the demographic dividend Africa has waited for. Unfortunately, it's already happening. This is a statistic that I'm mentioning, but we all know today that we have children on the streets that are doing the worst and worst of things.
From learning environments to social norms, the African creative industry's Convene is looking at how storytelling shapes early childhood.
Many children no get creative advantage when they enter school. Not because them no get ability, but because early learning opportunities no balance. Children they do their best when they get good health, better food, caring adults, early learning and safety. These things be creative building blocks for our children.
This is why CBAAC, the Institutional Memory of Black and African Arts and Civilization, has proudly partnered with Ogidi Studios with technical support from the World Bank to host this gathering. Because we know that culture cannot remain a decoration, it is the most powerful behavior change and social norms transformation instrument ever invented. Music reaches where policy cannot. Animation speaks to the heart where statistics fail. Comedy disarms resistance where lectures bore. Storytelling reframes what it means to be a responsible father, a nurturing mother, a protective community. And that is why the mission we have today is for you to join us in creating the Creative Industries Coalition for Nigerian Children. We are here today with you as stakeholders. We have everybody, government, public sector, private sector, investors, the creatives themselves. We don't want to do this alone. And the idea is for you to also be with us when we're doing this, so we're walking together on this path. We shall and we must reframe caregiving as the highest form of patriotism. We must turn every living room in Nigeria into an early learning lab. We must prove that investing in the first 5 years can make a difference. It is the highest return, economic strategy-wise. It is known to man that people who are properly taken care of will add value to the economy and the GDP. So please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we were established at CBAAC for this moment, to ensure that African culture does not remain in museums or archives, but it lives, breathes, and solves the problems that we have today. And we must declare that African art and entertainment is not something of the past. It is also part of the future of our children, the ones we live for and the ones who will take from us.
Developed and emerging powers do not treat early childhood as charity. They treat early childhood as infrastructure. Okay. In Nigeria, we build roads, we build bridges, we build railways, all critically vital, don't get me wrong. But I submit that the most important architecture or infrastructure is neurological. For that is what takes care of the bridges, the roads, and the railways for decades to come. Thank you. And that neurological infrastructure is built in living rooms, like the DG said. It's built on screens. I happen to know a storyteller, theater practitioner, producer, Bola, wave to us at the back, who has developed stories that I tell you hand on heart can beat the Lion King hands down. And each time, that's for you, darling. And each time I have the conversations with her, those critical conversations, what are we doing with these stories? How are we going to, scale them? The challenge remains bankability. The challenge is not trying. It's not for want of her trying. But what is bankable shapes. Today, our creative economy is globally triumphant. Afrobeats commands international stages. Nollywood streams across continents. Nigerian storytelling, Niger culture, they travel faster than our passports can. And yet, the whisper of intentional early childhood creative programming struggles still to compete with what is labeled as bankable. If our creative economy can redefine global fashion and even get new English words into the dictionary, surely it can also shape national priorities. And if we are serious about placing the Nigerian child at the center of our national imagination, then we must move from conversation to architecture. Storytellers, educators, policymakers, financiers, industry leaders and experts, all in this room. That is architectural gold. Our efforts must be united, deliberate, structured, sustainable, and capable of aligning imagination with economic strategy to forge a blueprint for Nigeria's demographic future.
The convening is set to feature a high-level creative dialogue and keynote address. Discussions with subnational policymakers and industry experts will focus on building a foundation for long life learning and productivity through culture.
Early childhood development no be one person work. Now everybody responsibility. Now why Nigeria's creative industry, they come together to use the power of story to change how the next generation of Nigeria go grow. Join us, make we give all our pikin good start where them deserve.
Catching art from the cradle, an interesting way to get the children to understand more about it. And we have more interesting things to see, but that will be on the next episode of Art House.